Talks Mental, where we talk about everything about mental health. Today we're going to be talking about anxiety with Kamini. Would you like to tell us about yourself?
My name's Kamini and I'm 16. I go to Valley Park, and currently I play one sport. I play volleyball, and I also do a ton of extracurriculars. I'm the HOSA president for my chapter, and I'm also involved with student council, and I'm also just really big on the arts field. So that's just basically me.
What are some struggles that you face as a person having anxiety?
I think some struggles I've definitely faced with anxiety is being able to interact with other people without any bias. Like, coming into conversations, I go in with the mindset that maybe they don't even like me, like I don't even want to speak to you. Like, having that like preconceived notion is something I've struggled a lot with anxiety, and it also just makes you not able to speak to them the way you want to speak to them. Like, your words come out with stutters. Like, I've stuttered a lot. I can't speak properly when I'm on the spot, and it just makes you feel lesser of yourself when you know that you can do so much better. For me, that's what I've struggled with.
What are some strengths that you have?
Some strengths when I'm dealing with anxiety is that I've learned that when I'm speaking to people, that I should just let myself be me, because in the end, the people who truly do care about me will be on my side. So that's really helped me overcome my social anxiety, and I still do struggle with it here and there, but I've learned that I have a support system that I can rely on. So if any case I do have these anxiety bouts where I'm either stressing about school, I'm stressing about how I can balance activities in school, whether it be unnecessarily like friendship drama, that really does like increase my anxiety too. I think it's really important that you identify yourself and know where you are at when you have anxiety, and know that, hey, I think I do need to talk to someone. I think that's really important.
What was your childhood like as a person with anxiety?
I would say my childhood with anxiety was pretty normal, except for the fact that my parents would try to make me overcome it through, making me ask for directions, like helping me like talk to strangers. And like while that process, like back then, I would hate it so much, and still to this day I absolutely do abhor talking to people when I really don't want to. It's made me understand that there are some things in life that you know that you can't change or can't overcome, and you're just going to have to face it head on. And I feel like that's with anxiety, it just sticks with you. Like, it's not something that like you consult with a therapist on and then you take medication for it and boom, it's gone. I feel like anxiety is just something that is a part of you. It becomes ingrained with you through your environment, through so many factors, and you just learn to live with it, honestly, and not make it take over your life. You have to take over yours, because it's your life and you have to be in control of it.
Yeah. So what are some coping mechanisms that you use?
Oh, I have so many coping mechanisms for anxieties. It's one of the most important things when I deal with anxiety is I know how I can fix it and how I can reduce symptoms. So for me, listening to music, especially just music with no lyrics, just something to keep my mind preoccupied. Because when I get anxiety, my mind is racing. Like, there's so many thoughts going in my head, I just want it to clear. So for me, having something low and ambient, as well as painting. Painting has been one of my biggest outlets. It's one of the main reasons I love doing art, is because art is an expression of oneself, and I truly feel one with myself, and everything goes quiet when I start painting, because I'm just focusing on the task in front of me, and you kind of go into like this mindless state, and I love that, because at that time you can also be really reflective. Like, it gives you that time to look back and know your faults and know where you can grow. So I really do love painting, and also even exercising. Exercising really makes you so tired that you don't even think about what's happening right now, and it releases so many like neurochemicals like serotonin, dopamine. Like those are good chemicals really getting released, and they can help ease anxiety symptoms. So yeah.
So what are some big triggers of your anxiety?
Some big triggers with my anxiety would be, I'd say my grades are a really big one. I try to make sure to know that your grades do not make you, that you are so much more than that letter or that score on your quiz. But sometimes it's hard when you have like this expectation on you that there's no other option. Like I can't be careless with my education. Like there is no other way, and I have to do that. And I think that is something that triggers my anxiety a lot, especially when thinking about the future. And that kind of ties in with economic instability, honestly, like financial issues. Like I'm really anxious about, the future of, my life. Like, where am I going with my career? Will I make enough money to sustain myself? Will I be able to, give back to my parents? Like, these are things that do trigger my anxiety. As well as, I would say, just, conflicts. I hate conflicts, and conflicts trigger past trauma that I have, especially childhood trauma, because my parents in our very formative years used to argue a lot. Like they would argue a lot, they'd get into fights a lot, and that was not something I enjoyed. And so in fact that if someone actually yells at me, I start crying, and it's not something I can control. And it's just I'm trying to get better at it, but it's something that's affecting me from ever since I was little, and it causes me to have that anxiety whenever someone's having problems, or whenever someone's having problems that I know and that I love. So those are some of my triggers, and it's something I've learned to accept, and also learn that I know those triggers, and if I know I'm going through that, I'll actively make sure to reach out for help, whether that be talking to my brother or spending time with you guys, because you guys are literally my happy pill. I make sure to know that I need to get better, and I'll talk to my parents. Just reach out is such a big step, but people really don't make it important when it is. It makes all the world's difference when you know you have somebody beside you ready to support you no matter what. So yeah.
So what are some physical and mental symptoms? Where do you feel the anxiety in your body?
Ooh. I would say I feel the anxiety most in my head and a pit in your stomach, because you just get that nervous knot in your stomach, and you just feel sick, and then your head just starts thrumming, and all of a sudden even opening your eyes is too much of a work. You just want to close your eyes and ball up. For me, that's how anxiety attacks me physically.
Yeah. So what's some preventative measures that you would recommend?
Some preventative measures would be distance yourself from those triggers, whether it be an active conflict, a disagreement with friends. Distance yourself from that problem and rethink and revalue how much importance it is to you. I think another thing that you can do if you have anxiety is just try your coping mechanisms. Just make sure to figure out what works for you. And if it gets to a point where it's really serious, you're feeling that doom mentality. Spiraling is very common with me. Like small problems, I just overthink it, and it makes me like doom scroll spiral myself into like this really bad period of anxiety. I think it's important to acknowledge it, but also overcome it by knowing that it is never ever that deep, and that you'll always overcome something. So I think that type of mindset is super important when you're trying to cope.
So, what's some advice for people with anxiety?
My advice for people with anxiety is that make sure that you tell someone. It's very important that you tell someone with anxiety that you have it, because it's like if you shoulder your problem all by yourself, it's not going to make it any better. And I think that telling someone alleviates that burden. It helps you get help that you need, and that anxiety does not have to control you, and that you can be more than your anxiety, and that in the end it is something that everyone can overcome through simple steps. It might be a small journey, a big journey, but you can always go through and come out happy at the end, honestly. Yeah.
What's some advice for those who are close to people with anxiety?
My advice would be to stay with them, be patient with them. Anxiety is not something that you can fix in someone. Anxiety is something that will always stay with you somewhere, and that you should be understanding of that. You should know when people are uncomfortable. You should know the signs of anxiety and when it's happening. Shortness of breath, refusal to speak, like things like that. You should actively see and know the signs so that you can help someone, because not everyone is going to have the courage to tell you and say, hey, I'm feeling anxious, I need a break. You might need to be their voice. You might need to step in and say, hey, like, are you okay? Like, I think it's very important that you don't shelter all of the burden on the person with anxiety, and that you treat anxiety as something serious. I feel like anxiety gets thrown around a lot, and it gets underplayed a lot, and I think that leads to people not taking it seriously, when it can most definitely affect your physical health and your mental health and stop you from functioning as a human being. So that's what I think a person who knows someone with anxiety can do, is understand what they're going through and stay by them.
Well, thank you for talking to us tonight. Make sure to go check out all of our other videos and our other interviews. Bye.